Good morning, this is Mike Houston with your Southeast Idaho Weather Hazard Briefing. Looking at key points this morning, we continue to have winter storm warnings and advisories across the region today and tonight. We are looking at a strong cold front sweeping through the region this afternoon, which will produce warm, gusty southerly winds out ahead of the front today with lower elevation rain. And then as the cold front works through the region late this afternoon, we'll see that lower elevation rain quickly turning over to snow, and we may see some accumulations down here in the Snake River Plain and eastern Magic Valley. The next storm system looks like it arrives Wednesday night, and we have even a third storm system on the horizon here for Sunday. Looking at satellite imagery this morning, we have a low-pressure trough along the west coast. The southern extent of that is digging south and in towards Southern California, but out ahead of the trough is this nice moist plume of moisture spreading in across Northern California into the Central Mountains, where we've seen a continuous period of fairly heavy snow. As this southern extent of this trough works into Southern California, this plume will shift south, redevelop across Nevada, and then lift up into southeast Idaho late this afternoon and tonight, where we expect to see some accumulations developing in that region. We do have some risks out there, and this is our matrix trying to convey those. First off, we continue to see moderate risks across the Wood River and Sawtooth region, where we have winter storm warnings out for snowfall. The risk will shift from that region into the southeast highlands late this afternoon and tonight, and we'll see some accumulations there. And we may see some modest accumulations down in the Snake River Plain. That really depends on how cold things get when the cold front sweeps into here and how early. So lots of things up in the air on that particular item. We get a little break on Wednesday. Looks like this next storm system comes in for Thursday. You can see most of our mountainous areas are showing some minor to moderate impacts. And then just out beyond Saturday here, going into Sunday, we have our next storm system working into the region late in the weekend. Okay, current watches and warnings. We do have warnings out for the Central Mountains and Northern Highlands here for today and this evening. Those will begin to give way later this evening as things begin to shift down into the southeast highlands, as I mentioned previously, and we'll see most of the activity here and warnings continuing in the Island Park area and the northern Wasatch. At this point, we'll also see these lower elevation advisories kicking in across the region late this afternoon and evening. All right, looking at the storm track this morning, here's that trough I was talking about, the southern extent of the trough. You can't see it, it's off the screen here, and digging into Southern California by this afternoon. The moisture fetch with that will begin to redevelop across Nevada and begin to shift into the southeast highlands. And so we'll begin to see a decrease in snowfall across the Central Mountains late this afternoon and an increase across the southeast highlands late this afternoon and evening. In addition to that, as this northern branch of the trough works inland, we'll see a cold front sweep across southeast Idaho late this afternoon, and that'll cause some colder temperatures to work into the region, and at least the lower elevation rain that we may see this afternoon begin to switch over to snow. Okay, as I mentioned, out ahead of the front, strong southerly winds. We'll see wind gusts up to 45 here across the southern highlands, and some of that sneaking out into the Snake River Plain. That'll drive temperatures up into the lower 40s in a lot of areas along that I-84-86 corridor. And most of the colder temperatures are going to be up north this morning, so this is where we expect to see the focus for our at least our decent accumulations through the day today. We'll see, like I said, accumulations anywhere from the 6 to 10-inch range here across some of these mountainous regions in the central and northern highlands. We'll see some accumulation across the southeast highlands late this afternoon, not much down here in the Snake River Plain until late this afternoon and evening, and I'll show that picture here in a minute. But as the cold front sweeps through the region, we'll see the wind switch to the west. Temperatures will begin to drop. Expecting that cold front to move through Burley area, maybe around 4, and into the Pocatello area between 5 and 6. That's just kind of a stab right now at the timing on that. And as that does, we'll see snow beginning to accumulate here in the Snake River Plain from Idaho Falls and Rexburg down to Pocatello, upwards of 1 to 2 inches in that I-15 corridor region. You get off into the southeast highlands, we'll see advisory level snowfalls of anywhere from 3 to 7 inches for the most part across that region. And then the northern Wasatch here will pick up warning level snowfall of upwards of 7 to 10 inches. The northern branch of that trough, here we are looking at the storm track on Wednesday morning. The northern branch of that trough still hasn't cleared the region. That won't happen till Wednesday afternoon. And so we'll continue to see some light snowfall across the eastern highlands as a result on Wednesday. But you can see as we look upstream out into the Pacific, the next storm system beginning to take shape here off the northwest coast. As a result of that cold front moving through this evening, Wednesday's high temperatures will be rather cool. They'll stay in the 20s in most regions and maybe just get to freezing down in the Burley area. As I mentioned, since the trough hasn't cleared the region, we'll see some light snowfall ongoing across the eastern highlands as a result. That next storm system works into the region Wednesday night and tracks across the area on Thursday, so we'll see this trough sweeping through the region. That'll bring us precipitation in the form of snow. We won't expect any rain with this. Temperatures will be much too cold on Thursday, and we'll see the brunt of the accumulations here in the Sawtooth and western portions of the Wood River Valley, maybe getting some down here into Shoshone, and then in this upslope region here across the southeast highlands as well. Right now, things look like they're shaking out to be potential for an advisory, and we'll have to wait to see how that develops over the next day or two. As we fast forward now to Sunday morning, we do get the next storm system working into the region. That'll bring yet another round of snow to the region. And so to summarize, we have winter storm warnings and advisories out for the region today and tonight. We have a strong cold front sweeping through the area late this afternoon. That will cause warm, gusty southerly winds out ahead of the front this morning and through the early afternoon hours with low elevation rain. And then as the front works through the region, we'll see things turn much colder and that rain begin to flip over to snow, and we may even see some accumulations down here in the Snake River Plain, probably about an inch or two. The next storm system arrives on Wednesday, and we have a third one on the horizon for Sunday. That's all I have for you here this morning. If you have any comments or questions, please go ahead and give us a ring here on the telephone, and we'll be happy to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.